The 1950s were a transformative decade for trucks, with new designs and features emerging. However, not every innovation was a hit. Some pickups from this era left much to be desired, whether due to poor performance, awkward styling, or reliability issues. These trucks have become infamous for their flaws, making them the stuff of automotive legends for all the wrong reasons. But why do they remain so unappealing today? Join us as we explore these 13 worst pickup trucks of the 1950s nobody wants back. Number 13. 1951 Willys Pickup. The 1951 Willys Pickup is often regarded as one of the least desirable pickup trucks in the 1950s. This is mainly due to its lackluster performance and outdated design. Produced by Willys Overland Motors, the Willys Pickup was part of the company's effort to shift from military to civilian vehicles after World War II. Willys Overland, known for its military Jeeps, hoped to build on this reputation for civilian use. Manufactured from 1947 to 1965, the Willys Pickup models from 51 to 52 are particularly noted for their shortcomings. The truck had a boxy, utilitarian design that prioritized function over style. This design was influenced by its military Jeep heritage, focusing on ruggedness rather than aesthetics. A key feature of the Willys Pickup was its four-wheel drive system, which was quite advanced for its time. Under the hood, the truck was equipped with a 2.2-liter inline-4 engine known as the Go Devil. This engine produced just 63 horsepower, which was considerably less than what other trucks offered. The lack of power was a significant drawback, especially for those needing a vehicle for heavy hauling and towing. The truck also came with a 3-speed manual transmission. Although this was standard at the time, it didn't provide the smoothness or ease of use found in some other competitor vehicles. While its ruggedness and four-wheel drive capabilities were valued, its lack of power and boxy appearance made it less appealing compared to more modern and stylish options. As a result, it struggled to compete in a market evolving with more powerful and attractive vehicles. Number 12. 1955 Dodge C-Series. The 1955 Dodge C-Series is often remembered as one of the least appealing pickups of the 1950s due to its unappealing design and lack of charm. Chrysler Corporation introduced the Dodge C-Series as an upgrade from the Dodge B-Series, aiming to modernize its vehicle lineup and be more competitive in the post-war market. The Dodge C-Series was produced from 1954 to 1960, but the models from 1955 to 57 are particularly noted for their design shortcomings. The C-Series featured a flat front end and bulky proportions, which many buyers found unattractive. Despite being built robustly, the design did little to win over the public. A notable change in 55 was the addition of a wraparound windshield, which improved visibility but did not significantly enhance the truck's overall appeal. The 1955 Dodge C-Series offered several engine options, including a 3.8-liter inline-6 engine and a 5.2-liter V8 engine. The inline-6 produced around 120 horsepower, while the V8 engine delivered up to 204 horsepower. Although these engines provided decent performance, they couldn't compensate for the truck's design flaws. The C-Series came standard with a 3-speed manual transmission with an optional 2-speed PowerFlight automatic transmission introduced in 1955. While these transmissions were functional, they didn't offer the smoothness or ease of use found in some competing vehicles. Number 11. 1958 Chevrolet Apache 31. The 1958 Chevrolet Apache 31 is often remembered for its bold yet polarizing design, which failed to resonate with many buyers of the era. The Chevy Apache 31 was part of the Task Force series, which Chevrolet introduced in 1955 to modernize its truck lineup. The Apache name was introduced in 1958 and was used for Chevrolet's light-duty trucks until 1961. The 1958 Chevrolet Apache 31 was produced during a time when Chevrolet was making significant changes to its truck designs. The Apache nameplate was used from 1958 to 61, but the 58 model year is particularly noted for its unique design elements. The 1958 Apache 31 featured a distinctive front end with quad headlights and a wide angular grille. This design was a departure from the more rounded and streamlined looks of previous models. The truck also introduced the fleet-side bed, which provided a flat exterior surface and more cargo space. The Apache 31 was available with several engine options, including a 3,851 cubic centimeters inline 6 and a 4,636 cubic centimeters V8. The inline 6 produced around 140 horsepower, while the V8 offered up to 185 horsepower. Despite these options, the engines were not enough to overcome the truck's design flaws. The truck came with a 3-speed manual transmission as standard, with an optional 4-speed hydromatic automatic transmission. While these transmissions were adequate, they didn't offer the smoothness or ease of use found in some competitors' vehicles. The 1958 Chevrolet Apache 31 is considered one of the worst pickup trucks of the 1950s, primarily due to its polarizing design. The oversized angular front end and strange grille arrangement made it a bold experiment that didn't appeal to many buyers. Additionally, despite having powerful engine options, the truck's aesthetic flaws overshadowed its mechanical capabilities, making it less appealing in a market that was rapidly evolving with more stylish and efficient options. Number 10. 1959 GMC 100. The 1959 GMC 100, as part of GMC's forward-look design era, the truck aimed to introduce futuristic styling, but ended up with a design that many found unattractive. This era was marked by significant changes in automotive design, with manufacturers experimenting with new looks to attract buyers. The 1959 model year of the GMC 100, part of the Blue Chip series produced from 55 to 59, stood out for its unique and controversial design elements. One of the most notable features of the 1959 GMC 100 was its large angular front grille, which many found unattractive. Combined with the truck's overall bulky proportions, it made the vehicle stand out, but not in a good way. The truck also introduced a wraparound windshield aimed at improving visibility, which was a new feature at the time. Engine options included a 4,423 cubic centimeters inline 6 producing around 130 horsepower and a 5,500 cubic centimeters V8 offering up to 180 horsepower. Despite these powerful options, the engines could not overcome the truck's flaws. The truck is considered one of the worst of the 1950s, primarily due to its awkward design. The unusually large front grille and bulky proportions made it the worst choice that did not appeal to many buyers. Number 9. 1953 Studebaker 2R. The Studebaker 2R series was produced from 1948 to 1953, with the 1954 model year seeing a slight redesign and rebranding as the 3R1. This series was part of Studebaker's post-war effort to capture the light and medium-duty truck market. The 2R series introduced several innovative features for its time. It had a modern, streamlined design with a lower profile compared to competitors, a one-piece windshield, and a double-walled bed to protect the outer sheet metal. The gas tank was mounted outside the cab for safety, and it featured a variable rate steering. The 2R was available with two inline-6 engines. The smaller 2,771 cubic centimeters economizer engine produced 80 horsepower, while the larger 3,701 cubic centimeters Power Plus engine delivered 94 horsepower. These engines were paired with a 3-speed or 4-speed Borg-Warner manual transmission. Despite its innovative features, the Studebaker 2R had several issues that contributed to its poor reputation. The truck's build quality was inconsistent, leading to reliability problems. Additionally, the engines were underpowered compared to competitors, making the truck less capable for heavy-duty tasks. The design, while modern, did not appeal to all buyers. These factors combined to make the 1953 Studebaker 2R one of the less desirable pickups of the 1950s. Number 8. 1956 International Harvester S-Series. The S-Series, launched in 1956 as a successor to the R-Series, was produced until 1957. It was part of International Harvester's effort to modernize its light-duty truck lineup. The S-Series introduced a new design with a more modern front fascia and brought four-wheel drive to light-duty trucks for the first time. Despite these updates, it kept a rugged and utilitarian look. Under the hood, the S-Series was equipped with a 240 cubic inch inline-six engine. This engine produced around 115 horsepower, which was modest compared to its competitors. The truck came with a 3-speed manual transmission, a standard feature for trucks of that era. However, the S-Series faced several challenges that led to its poor reputation. The engine's modest power made it less capable for heavy-duty tasks compared to other trucks at the time. Additionally, the build quality was often criticized. The truck was prone to rust and mechanical issues. The introduction of the A-Series in 1957, which offered significant improvements, quickly overshadowed the S-Series. These factors contributed to the S-Series being considered one of the less desirable pickups of the 1950s. Its underpowered engine, build quality issues, and the quick arrival of a better model led to its reputation as one of the worst trucks of its era. Number 7. 1951 Ford F1. The Ford F1 was produced from 1948 to 1952, with the 51 to 52 models marking the end of this generation. This series was significant because it represented Ford's shift to a dedicated truck chassis, moving away from designs based on cars. This transition was crucial for the development of more robust and specialized trucks in the future. In terms of unique features, the 1951 model introduced a new grille and hood trim, and it also featured a wood box floor instead of the previous steel floor. Additionally, Ford offered the 5-star extra cab option, which aimed to provide more comfort for drivers. This option included foam seat padding, extra sound deadening material, and bright metal trim, making the driving experience more pleasant and reducing noise levels inside the cab. The F1 was available with two engine options. One was a 3,525 cubic centimeter inline-six engine that produced 101 horsepower, and the other was a 3,915 cubic centimeter flathead V8 with 100 horsepower. Despite these options, the F1 had several shortcomings. The inline-six engine was often seen as underpowered for heavy-duty tasks, while the flathead V8 was popular. It was becoming outdated by the early 1950s. Additionally, the build quality of the truck was inconsistent, leading to frequent mechanical problems. These issues contributed to the perception of the 1951 F1 models as less desirable. The introduction of the second-generation F-Series in 1953, which offered significant improvements, quickly made these models obsolete. Consequently, the F1 from this period is often regarded as one of the less favorable pickups from the 1950s. Number 6. 1955 Chevrolet Task Force. The 1955 Chevrolet Task Force was part of Chevrolet's second series of trucks, introduced in the latter half of 1955. This series marked a significant redesign from the previous Advanced Design series, featuring a more modern look with wraparound windshields and a sleeker body. The Task Force series was produced from 1955 to 1959. The 1955 model introduced several new features, including the availability of a V8 engine, 12-volt electrical systems, and two-tone paint options. The Task Force trucks also had a distinctive egg crate grille and were among the first to offer factory-installed four-wheel drive. The 1955 Chevrolet Task Force came with several engine options, the most notable being the 4.3-liter V8 engine, which produced around 145 horsepower. This engine was a significant upgrade from the inline-six engines used in previous models. The truck was available with a 3-speed manual, 4-speed manual, or a 4-speed high-dramatic automatic transmission. Despite its innovations, the 55 Chevrolet Task Force had several issues that made it less desirable. The V8 engine was prone to overheating and had reliability issues. The truck's suspension was also criticized for being too stiff, leading to an uncomfortable ride. Additionally, the build quality was inconsistent, with many owners reporting problems with body integrity. These factors combined to make the 1955 Chevy Task Force one of the less favored pickups in the 50s. While the Task Force series was notable for its modern design and technical advancements, these shortcomings prevented it from achieving greater popularity among truck enthusiasts. Number 5. 1958 Dodge Power Wagon. The 1958 Dodge Power Wagon was a part of Dodge's renowned series of four-wheel drive trucks, which first appeared in 1945. Known for its rugged design and off-road capabilities, the Power Wagon became a favorite among farmers, military personnel, and outdoor enthusiasts. The specific models from 58 to 59 belong to the third series of Power Wagons, including the W300M. These trucks featured a robust design with a flat fender style, a characteristic inherited from their military origins. They were equipped with a 10,000-pound winch, a factory option that started in 1958. Additionally, they had a distinctive Power Giant badge and were among the first to offer an alternator instead of a generator. Under the hood, the 58-59 Dodge Power Wagon was powered by a 3,770 cubic centimeters flathead inline-six engine producing around 105 horsepower. This engine, known for its durability, was considered underpowered compared to contemporary V8 engines. The truck came with a 4-speed manual transmission, which was standard for heavy-duty trucks of that era. By the late 50s, the flathead engine was considered obsolete, offering poor fuel efficiency and limited power. The truck was heavy and cumbersome and made it difficult to handle, especially on modern roads. Additionally, the lack of comfort features and a stiff suspension made it an uncomfortable ride for daily use. These factors combined to make the 1958 Dodge Power Wagon less appealing to consumers looking for a more practical and comfortable vehicle. Number 4. 1954 International Harvester R110. The 1954 International Harvester R110 was a part of the R Series, which came after the L Series. The series was introduced in 1953 and produced until '55. The R110 was a light-duty pickup truck designed for both personal and small business use. During its production, International Harvester was a significant player in the light truck market. Known for their ruggedness and versatility, the R-Series trucks, including the R110, faced stiff competition from Ford and Chevrolet. The R110 had a unique grille design with two large horizontal slots and a grille that matched the truck's body color. It was offered in two wheelbase options, 115 inches and 127 inches, catering to different needs. Under the hood, the R110 was equipped with a 3.6-liter Silver Diamond inline-six engine, producing 100 horsepower, which is approximately 164 cubic centimeters. This engine was paired with a 3-speed manual transmission. While 100 horsepower was adequate for the era, it fell short compared to competitors, making the truck less appealing for tasks requiring more power for towing or hauling. Additionally, the manual transmission was seen as outdated, especially as automatic transmissions were becoming more popular in the mid-50s. These factors, along with a lack of modern amenities and a relatively high price, led to the decline in the R110's popularity. Number 3. 1955 Ford F100. The Ford F100, part of the second generation of the F-Series, was produced from 53 to 56. This era saw significant upgrades in design and function as Ford aimed to compete with Chevrolet's Task Force trucks. The 1955 F100 featured a wraparound windshield and a redesigned dashboard, which were considered modern for that time. It also came with optional power brakes and the Ford-O-Matic automatic transmission, enhancing its user-friendliness. In terms of engine options, the F100 offered several choices. It included the 3915 cubic centimeters Y-block V8 and a more powerful 4455 cubic centimeters V8, which delivered up to 167 horsepower. These engines could be paired with either a 3-speed manual transmission or the optional Ford-O-Matic automatic transmission. Despite its advanced features, the 1955 F100 gained a reputation for being one of the worst models of its time due to several issues. One major drawback was its poor fuel efficiency. The powerful V8 engines were known for their high fuel consumption, which was a significant disadvantage during a time when fuel economy was becoming increasingly important. Additionally, the truck's suspension system was often criticized for providing a rough ride, especially compared to its competitors. These issues, along with a relatively high price, made the F100 less attractive to buyers who were looking for a practical and economical pickup truck. Number 2, 1958 Chevrolet Viking. The 1958 Chevrolet Viking was part of Chevrolet's Task Force series, designed for medium-duty work. It was introduced in 1958 and produced until 1959. This truck stood out for its strong chassis and higher payload capacity, making it suitable for tougher jobs. The 1958 Viking had some unique features, including a redesigned front end with quad headlights and a wider grille with built-in parking lights. The interior also received an update, featuring a more modern dashboard compared to earlier models. Additionally, the Viking was available with dual rear wheels, which improved its load-bearing abilities. Under the hood, the Viking offered a variety of engines. These included the 4,276 cubic centimeters Jobmaster Inline 6 and the 4,638 cubic centimeters Taskmaster V8. The Inline 6 engine produced about 148 horsepower, while the V8 engine provided up to 185 horsepower. The Viking came with several transmission options, including a 3-speed manual, a 4-speed manual, and a 4-speed automatic transmission. However, despite these strengths, the 58 Chevrolet Viking is often remembered negatively due to its unreliable braking system. The drum brakes, standard at the time, frequently failed under heavy loads or extended use, leading to safety concerns and making the Viking less popular among those needing a dependable truck for demanding tasks. And at number 1, the 1958 Dodge D100. The 1958 Dodge D100 was part of Dodge's C-Series, produced from 1954 to 1960. Introduced in 1957, the D100 was Dodge's half-ton pickup truck and remained in production until 1960. It was known for its sturdy design and was marketed as the Power Giant. The 1958 model featured several notable updates. It came with a new dual headlight setup, a wraparound windshield, and a more modern dashboard compared to earlier versions. Buyers could choose between 2 bend styles: Swept-line, which had a smooth design, and Utiline, which featured a side-step design. Under the hood, the D100 was powered by a 3,925 cubic centimeters flathead inline 6 engine, producing about 120 horsepower. This engine was known for its reliability and was paired with a standard 3-speed manual transmission. Despite its rugged design and powerful engine, the 1958 Dodge D100 faced a significant drawback: poor fuel efficiency. Even by the standards of the 1950s, the truck's fuel economy was disappointing. This issue was particularly problematic at a time when fuel efficiency was becoming more important to buyers. The combination of its heavy weight and relatively ineffective engine led to higher operating costs, which discouraged many potential customers. So, which of these 1950s pickup trucks do you think was the worst? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this dive into automotive history, be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more intriguing content. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.